Why do we bow? So the common explanation which is given for bowing, or Gassho, is to do with bringing together opposites. So we take things which are separate and possibly opposed, left and right, and bring them together in a gesture of integration. Our hands between our head and our heart. That's a common explanation which is given. We can take a slightly more involved explanation, which is that when our hands are in this position, we're integrating ideas of ourself, which are often quite scattered. So we have an idea of ourself as subject, somebody acting on the world, and we have an idea of ourselves as object, something in the world that is either acting upon other objects or being acted upon. So there's quite a kind of smear of self between all those various senses. And when we're holding our hands in this way, all those various senses are integrated in the simple gesture. So our hand, each hand, is exerting itself and pushing against the other, and each hand is experiencing the push from the other. So in microcosm, Gassho is a representation of this integration of these various aspects of ourself, and an integration of ourself with all of existence. There's a third explanation which one can make. In Shohaku Okamura's excellent book about the Genjo koan, Okamura points out that the characters which Dogen uses for koan are different from those normally used. So koan comprises two characters, ko and an, and in the usual interpretation, the ko character, ideogram, means something like universal or public, and the an ideogram means something like desk. So the original meaning is something like an order which is promulgated at an official's desk, an official of the emperor, which has universal effect, and that became altered in due course to refer to the verbal teachings of Zen masters. So just as the emperor's proclamation would have universal effect because he's the emperor, the Zen master's promulgation would have universal effect because it's true. Dogen uses a different character for the second ideogram, the an, and this character has as one of its components the signifier for hand. So the meaning which Dogen places then on koan by the use of this different ideogram changes. So rather than becoming something like a universal statement of truth, the koan is rather a statement of the reality of this person in this karmic position. So the meaning which was brought out by Dogen's successors was something like to accept one's lot. And that doesn't mean to take a fatalistic position in your life. It's rather, I'm in this Dharma position and my responsibility is to express this Dharma position fully. And I do that within a dynamic universe where everything is likewise expressing itself fully. So the universe does not collapse into nothingness. So we can see from that that the third interpretation of Gassho is not, as it were, a bowing to something, a Buddha or a teacher or something else, but rather it is part of an expression of this full dynamic activity of this person